Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Nerdrant, where we talk about nerdy things for around an hour, unless Seth gets his way and we end up going like 15 minutes over because for some reason he likes to do that. And this is my co-host.
I'm Seth. This is my ASMR day. That's a joke. Hey guys, welcome back. That's gonna throw
People
them for
just
a
like
loop.
crank up their
ASMR.
audio to try and hear what you're saying,
Yep,
and then you
yep.
blow out the bass on their
ASMR.
speakers.
Throw out the bass. I'm Dr. Zamar, Seth. And
Exactly.
before we start, just scrolled through Twitter, and The Legend of Aang, The Last Airbender, only in theaters October 9th, 2026.
Yeah,
What's this?
we knew about this.
I don't know. There's like 10 projects going on. Okay, I don't freaking know which one's what anymore.
It's a sequel movie to.
Oh, this is the sequel
Aang's
movie to
kind
Aang?
of saga.
Okay. But yeah, I just saw that official.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. 2026 though.
Also, I can kind of tell we're on a bit of a delay, so this is going to be really fun to sync up in editing.
Nice. Anyway, that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about?
We are talking about Fortnite. Woo, Fortnite, yay!
Y'all, we're going back to our roots. We got like 3 episodes in like a row.
I know, it's, we literally said to ourselves, okay, so we're probably only going to do like one Fortnite episode per season now, and then here we are. This is like our third one in like a, month and a half time frame?
Because we did Lawless April 21st, and then May 3rd was our last episode, and that was the last Star Wars, the beginning.
Yeah.
And here we are. And we'll probably have another one because we're going to have quick side note before we get to the main Star Wars stuff. Did you also see the build up for the OG stuff?
I have not looked into that yet now.
But did you see like the leaks? Like
I
the
saw
phases are
something
going
like that
through.
happen.
Some stuff is progressing. This is for the what's it called? The Meteor, because we're going to be getting the events in creative, not in creative, in OG, which I'm really excited about because that's going to be really fun. And I think when we have our first proper live event, like the Rocket next season, or is that season 5? I think that's next season. Because season 5's the Rift. That's right. Yeah. I think next season, when we have the Rocket event, it's gonna really show how big OG is to see those live events again. Not just in basic gameplay, but like with the big seasons and the events and the skins and everything. When we get to the Prime. And speaking of skins, did you see we got the Visitor remake in that one music track?
Yes, I saw the...
You can see the Visitor
the
back
face,
there.
Yeah.
So, other than that, Pro-Am happened too. Right?
Yeah.
I'm just getting all the other stuff
It
out
broke.
of the way. Did you... It what?
It broke.
Oh yeah. Apparently all the Wi-Fi died or all the internet power or something. Like it just...
Literally everything went down. Everything.
Yeah.
Twitch went down.
Twitch went down? Or I think the entire power across like half of campus went down. That's what my one friend told me. The entire like facility just lost power. Which is great. So there's just one tweet that I want to mention because obviously, can you guess who won? Talk about him all the time when it comes to comp.
Booga!
No, Peter Bond and Aussie Antics. But I just need to read these stats because these are the best. These are all these different stats. And the person that did the best with. The person who did the most damage had 10,535 damage, which is Peterbot. Person with the most limbs with 34 limbs, Peterbot. Person with the most assists with 48, Peterbot. Person with the most damage ratio with 3.15, Peterbot. Person with the most damage per minute at 107.45, Peterbot. Person with the most builds, 2,941, Peterbot.
So this guy's just like really cracked.
So, do you know Faker? Does that sound familiar?
Yes, I've heard it before.
From League of Legends, right? We talked about this with the Game Awards.
Yeah.
Like, he is like the best. That's Peterbot. Like, he is the best person who have ever touched this game. He is still on an absolute dominant run, and he has won every FNCS since Myth Immortal, including the LAN events. Every single one.
Lovely.
It's just really funny when you look at the stats. It's like Peterbot. And then the other thing with the Pro-Am, did you see Allier crash out?
I did.
Poor guy. It's because it bugged out and he couldn't turn off his skin, so he was stuck at that. So we got our boy Peterbot, like, that's Allie. He ain't gonna do nothing. I'm gonna kill him.
Mm-hmm.
But, I think that's really it. Unless we have a new car or something you want to talk about.
No.
Okay. Let's get into the actual stuff that you kind of, I'm assuming you want to talk about.
Yeah, so...
Also, guys, my game's still updating. I haven't been home all day.
Yeah, I have to reconnect my Xbox to the Wi-Fi because it decided to disconnect. That way I can reopen the game.
Love that.
It'd be nice. But anyways, so we had our first update of the Star Wars season. But before we actually get into the update, I wanted to talk about the Apple stuff that's been happening because...
Oh, yeah, there's some Apple stuff.
It's pretty interesting. So obviously, in case you've been living under a rock, Epic has been in a year-long lawsuit with Apple, basically telling them... Or years, I meant to say years long.
This started with Chapter
Years
2,
long.
Season 3,
Plural.
which is still what iOS is on.
Years
ready?
long.
Chapter 4 was a year, Chapter 5 was a year, Chapter 3 was a year. 4.5 years?
A long time. They've been in this legal battle for a long time over the fact that Apple has basically a monopoly over any purchase made on an Apple device because you're not allowed to direct to a web store, and they take, what was it? I think like a 30% cut of any purchase made on the Apple App Store, which is absolutely outrageous and leaves a very small cut for the actual developers of the game. So Epic was like, no thank you, and basically the result of this lawsuit...
And that's when the prices went really confusing.
Yeah.
Because they went from $9.99 for 1,000 to $8.99. Woo!
Yeah. But essentially the result of this lawsuit, the consensus that was made was that they are allowed to have web stores now. So Apple is not reducing their, huge cut of purchases made, but all developers are now allowed to make their own websites that you can purchase like in-app currencies and stuff like that.
You can purchase your V-Bucks, your starter packs, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly. And so Epic has decided that all V-Bucks will be cheaper that way instead of, buying it through Apple, obviously. So that is a small victory, not necessarily the victory that they were going for, but it's a small victory. Just random other side note on that topic. Epic Games Store themselves is apparently giving any developer that puts their game on the store the resources to make their own web store in case they want to, bypass Epic's, more minuscule cut of any purchases made. Because I think Epic is like a
probably like
10% cut. I think it was 12%.
Something around 10 to 15.
Which is far better than Apple, but if they don't want to have
it's
to give
still
that
10
to
to
Epic,
15%. That's still a good bit.
Yeah, if they don't want to give that though, Epic is giving them for free all of the resources to make their own web stores so that they can bypass all of these cuts, which is really awesome of them. Just another big Epic
recommend it. I don't recommend it. I recommend it doing through Epic because they also, do you see, they have cash back now.
Oh, yeah.
Which is another thing we can talk about since that's kind of like a Fortnite thing. Pretty much what happens is if you buy your stuff through the Epic Game Store, you can get points back, pretty much like credit. And so if you buy... say the starter pack and the $100 bundle, I know it's on 100, it's like 89 something, whatever. Like I said, it was so simple. Now it's confusing. You pretty much get enough and you can buy another 2,800 worth of V-Bucks. Like you get a certain percentage back. I think it's 20%.
It's pretty much just like every other store's like point system, but it's nice that they have it now because now you have more of a reason to actually buy it through the Epic Game Store as opposed to other ones.
Yes. So it's just, might as well just buy it through the Epic Game. Not only is it cheaper, but you get a bunch of points back. And if you do that over and over again, you get free V-Bucks, a free real money pack, or because it's Epic Game credit, you can buy a whole game if you buy enough V-Bucks. And they have plenty of discounts.
Big Epic W's around this, but there are downsides here. Apple is a little bit salty at Epic, and because of that, when Epic submitted their version of Fortnite to the Apple App Store, because it was meant to come back now that they can do this bypass, Apple left it unreviewed for over 128 hours. And because of that, and mind you, Apple has guaranteed that 90% of apps are reviewed within 48 hours of submission, which means 100 hours? I'd say it's pretty safe to say 100% are usually reviewed. So they definitely did this on purpose.
Oh yeah,
and
this is them smiting them.
And because they did this, Epic had to pull that version and upload
because a new version of the game.
The update was coming out, so they had to submit that version. And after 48 hours, still nothing. Once it hit 50 hours, it got denied. Not ignored,
also,
denied.
Yeah. And some people said, well, you should have thought about the update. You know, it's like, well, I don't think they were planning on the game being in review for 100 hours. They were planning on having it out the moment they could and then updating it like normal. I don't think they were planning on this.
Exactly. But it got denied, which means now all versions, including the one that you can download through Epic's web app, are now not functioning on iOS devices. All of them. So, unfortunately, for anyone using Apple, Fortnite will not be accessible to you for the foreseeable future until they get this worked out. Because, frankly, I don't see Apple easing up.
No. But also, my question is, why are you using a Mac for gaming?
Yeah.
Like, mobile, I can see Apple, like, phones, but, like, other than that... And, like, I don't know. I feel like not as many Apple people are gaming. Like, if you're gaming and you really want to sweat, you're going to get, like, a fancy gaming phone.
Yeah. The only reason I have Fortnite on my phone is to, like, hop into a creative map to get my dailies when I'm not at home. Like, that's the only reason I have it. But, you know, if that's what you do on your Apple device, you won't be able to do that anymore.
What do you mean anymore, though?
Well, you could get it
before.
You could get it before. And remember, in the UK, they had... You could download it again on
in
the
UK
web store.
Specific.
You know, you download the Epic Games app
UK
off the website, and then you could download Fortnite through that. And now versions, including that, is no longer
not just
accessible.
US.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Which
another
sucks.
side thing with Apple is apparently. Do you want to hear something crazy? PlayStation has Apple Pay before Walmart.
I saw that.
Before Walmart. So when I go to summer camp, Walmart's the closest thing, and the amount of times I forget my wallet because I use my watch. I'm like, oh, it's fine. I don't need my card, but they don't take it. They need the actual chip.
Yeah.
So how does PlayStation have Apple Pay before Walmart? I know why. Because they want you to do it in the app, so they get credit, like they get an extra percentage or whatever. Or whatever it is, but it's just really funny that PlayStation and Apple are doing this before Walmart.
Yeah, it's kind of wild.
Anyway,
so yes,
that took enough for my game to update.
Yay! But yeah, so basically, Apple is kind of being petty about everything, and so that is going to probably stretch itself out a little more. There's probably going to be some more legal issues there. But, back to the main subject. Fortnite update in the Star Wars season. Let's
start with the item shop, because I opened up the item shop and we have a welcome to the Fortnite item shop tab.
Yes, they gave us a welcome. Woohoo! It's a little interesting, but, you know, it's just the basic information that we already knew. Refreshes,
I think it's just they're just doing that to cover their butt.
Yeah, just legal stuff. Probably they intended it for the players that are coming back from not playing after years on Apple, but seeing as it's not actually there, it's just popping up for everyone now. Yeah. But anyways, item shop. So we have a new XP shop. Darth Jar Jar, you know, the skin that everybody was excited for is locked
not just
behind...
excited for, but the one everyone was expecting behind the XP pass, because, you know, we had Renegade Raider. Let's give us, you know, Rustlord or something. Just throw him in the...
But no, we have Darth Jar Jar. He costs 1,500 V-Bucks just for the skin, and he is locked
Sith
behind
Electropole.
1.28 million XP.
Which isn't that bad.
But it's pretty crazy when you really consider it, because we don't have a lot of time this season. We have a month. And everybody's already done most of their quests, most likely. So it's gonna take
still have
a
how
hot
many
minute.
quests left?
It's gonna take a hot minute, though, to really get to that point. Especially for the people that just wanted to buy the skin.
I mean, no, I'm not saying it's good, but it's only 16 levels. So in the grand scheme of thing, and for how much XP there is everywhere, because you have OG, you have Reload, you have Lego, all that kind of stuff. Like, there is XP. Like, that's not awful. But again, I don't think there should be an XP shop. If there's an XP shop, like Renegade, it should match what it was back in the day. And it should be like 6 million, right? Like, it should take you a while. But in a season like this, 1.28 isn't too bad. Because, I mean, you still have, what, 3 weeks? But yeah, it shouldn't have happened in the first place. But
yeah. What do you think of this skin,
Darth
non-Star Wars fan?
He's a dude. I don't know.
He's not a dude. He's a Gungan.
He has a big red ball, and I love his lightsaber. Blank expression.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, I see some light, and it's kind of like a saber, so I'm gonna say it's a lightsaber.
It's an electro.
This is the closest thing we're gonna have. It's the closest thing we have to a lightsaber, because we'll talk about that later.
And then we have normal Jar Jar.
Jar. Yeah, which is the same back bling, just purple.
Yep, it's just the regular kind, not the same.
I think the wrap is different too. And then
we just have the rest of our Star Wars shop, basically.
Yeah. We have Mace Windu now, though.
Yep.
We have Wookiee feet. Love that.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Go ballistic. That's right. We had some ballistic updates too. We're not gonna talk about them because I don't know what they are, unless you do.
No, I have no idea.
Just looking through. Did I buy one? I did buy the Imperial March. Did you buy any or all of the jam tracks?
I'm planning to, just not yet.
Gotta get that monies. Well, you see, I bought a lot of V-Bucks at the end of last season, so I'm saving them. I have a whopping 6,900 in case I want something.
See, I really want that Mandalorian
buy the Ford
skin.
car. Yeah, I was gonna buy the Ford car, and then I missed it. Because I didn't mind that. I want a cool car. But anyway. Anything else about Item Shop, or do you want to get into the other skin?
I do want to mention that Mandalorian skin. So we got the leaked version. He's not in the shop yet, but we did get the leak. Let me see if I can find the one here that shows it. It's basically, he's going to have a lot of different interchangeable armor pieces. Like, a lot. Hello?
You were talking about the Mandalorian skin. I didn't hear anything what you said, but...
Yeah, so Mandalorian skin. I'm currently scrolling to try and find the actual leak. I know it's here somewhere, because I saw it had a picture of each different armor piece that you're going to be able to change out. There's a lot. Here it is. All right. So... obviously, basically every single armor piece on him, you will be able to change and customize. So that goes for the helmet, the leg pads, the shoulder pads, the breastplate. Looks like... yeah, looks like the clothes underneath might be slightly changeable as well. And I think the gauntlets as well is something you can change.
So extra customizable.
Yep. And there will be colors as well, so you can change the colors. So... essentially, this is going to be a super uber customizable Star Wars skin, which it's always awesome to just get customizable skins in general, but the fact that they did it for a Star Wars one is just going to be awesome. But that is what I am saving my V-Bucks for.
Fair enough. Oh, that's right. I should... wait, how do I... oh, no, that's right. This is just... but yeah. He's coming. I'm not getting him. But he looks cool. It's nice for the people that missed him, though, the first time around.
It's not the same guy.
It's the same enough. Anyway.
So we have in terms of the battle
rewards.
pass, we had some more stuff.
We got our super styles.
We did indeed. Super styles. What do you think of them?
I'm a little disappointed, but they're not awful.
They're not the best ones in the world, I agree, but I can see what they were going for. They're going for, like, the Star Wars color scheme, because this is, like, the exact yellow of the title, like, the Star Wars title, and obviously it's, like, the space background. So I can absolutely see what they were going for. It's not my favorite thing in the world, and I do not like the choice of skins, but that's just kind of, they're stuck to what was in the Battle Pass.
I was going to say, yeah, what skins do they really have options for? They really did them all, other than Palpatine. Well, yeah, no, they did them all.
In terms of these skins,
Yeah.
they don't really fit super styles very well. Eevee is the
No.
only one that I would actually consider using.
Yeah, I was just looking. It is switchable between her good side, bad side, Sith, resistance styles. So that's cool. The Wookiee team leader just is kind of creepy.
Yeah.
How about Palpatine? He looks really weird with the robe, like the texture of the robe with everything. But, you know. Anyway.
Anyways, then we also have Grievous.
Woo!
Have
Spoiler.
you looked at any of this stuff?
No lightsabers.
Oh, yeah. No lightsabers. I was wrong. My prediction was incorrect.
That's why I was joking about the
Womp
lightsaber
womp.
in the item shop, because we didn't get anything.
Yeah.
Glider looks pretty cool. Is this a surfing one on the side?
Yeah, look, I believe it is.
Nice.
This is the vehicle he uses in... Oh, what movie was it? It was... Why am I drawing a blank? Revenge of the Sith. There we go. When he fights Obi-Wan. And then we have his Magna Guard Electro Staff, which is a really cool pickaxe.
Yeah.
I
I
really
actually
like it.
don't mind the skin itself. I think from now
Mhm.
on, like, if I used a Star Wars skin, it would probably be him. I
Yeah,
think I'd
no.
prefer this over
He
Darth.
has an awesome design
Yeah.
just in general.
Right now, normally if I use something, it's Darth Maul. Also, if I'm I don't like Star Wars that much, but if I'm gonna do Star Wars, I'm gonna do Star Wars, so I'm not counting Eevee. Like, if I'm gonna do Marvel, I'm not pulling out Captain America Jones. Like,
Yeah.
or Bright Bomber. Like, even if I don't like the franchise, I'm gonna actually, like, at least do that much. So if I'm gonna do a Star Wars loadout with some people, I'm gonna at least use the Star Wars character.
Yeah.
So if I'm gonna use something, I'd probably use General Grievous. I actually really like him.
Mhm.
And the glider.
And then we got our
glider
second
pickaxe.
page stuff.
Yep.
We got the guitar, which was a weird one. We got a rap. And then we have
The loading screen.
Warlord Grievous.
I like the loading
So
screen.
this is really interesting though, because never in media before, like virtual media, have we gotten the like alien version of General Grievous. It's always been his cyborg version, and I know he exists in the comics, but like this is the first time we've seen him like virtualized, which is really awesome and really odd that it's Fortnite of all things that did it.
Is it at this point, are we that surprised? I feel like this is not the first time. Like, I feel like Fortnite has done original stuff for the franchise, like with Marvel and DC. Like, they've taken like characters. I mean, we have the entire Fortnite original pantheon of Greek mythology.
Yeah. But, you know, this is kind of like really awesome because then anytime this version of Grievous is referenced, it's like almost 100% guarantee that this like Fortnite skin is going to be the visual aid that they use.
That's pretty crazy.
Yeah. But what do you think of the second style?
It's alright. I like the first one better.
Yeah, I also do.
What's Walking Dead skins? What's this? Oh, Creator Made Islands. Okay. I thought they were skins or something, like cool zombie skins. I'm like, I don't see that in the shop. Anyway.
But yeah, that's pretty much all the new additions there.
I'm still so surprised that we got Darth Jar Jar for the XP shop. Everyone throughout today is like, the XP shop's coming tonight, guys. What's it gonna be? Still unconfirmed if the skin's gonna be Darth Jar Jar.
Freaking Jar Jar. That's really fitting for him, though, as a character. Like, I know you don't probably get it, but, like, a disappointment just kind of, like, fits Jar Jar as a character.
Great. But,
anyway, so now I guess we can talk about the minor gameplay changes that have been implemented.
So we got some new guns. Did we get a sniper? I haven't played or actually seen much. Did we get like an actual sniper? Is that what I saw?
I don't think we have the sniper yet. At least I didn't find one in the couple matches that I played.
I saw
and
there
I didn't
was
see
the
one in the leaks.
bowcaster. I want to say, was it the shotgun type thing? And
Was the bowcaster added yet?
That's what I thought I saw when I was looking.
Hold on, I'm scrolling back up now.
Scroll, guys.
Scroll. We're getting there. I don't see it.
Okay, I'm now at the start of the day. We got their skins and skins and skins and skins. I don't know. Oh, I think I just saw the Mandalorian stuff. Oh yeah, here it is.
Yeah,
Looks pretty
probably.
cool.
Oh, there's stuff we can get for Fortnite for the mega sale. I completely forgot about that. There's 2 free wraps.
Yep. Did you see there was gonna be a Switch 2 logo?
Woohoo!
Speaking of Switch 2's, pre-order sales sold out like completely in like
Immediately,
a few hours. Like it was like immediately. So rest in peace. I don't think we're actually gonna enact any change.
Yeah. I'm not seeing any.
Okay.
Oh. So if you rescue Chewbacca on the map, I guess he's like at one of the outposts. He will give you a legendary bowcaster, and that's like the only way to get it.
For now, then, because I saw like it was a bunch of different gun, like one of those stat type things for chances, and I saw there's 3 different weapons. So I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it's just bugged because I saw like it was just generally bugged today, especially with the UI.
Mm-hmm.
There was something going on.
Yeah, so we have that, and then we also have I forget the actual number because it's a number 1, but it's like the Jawa's shotgun, the one shot.
Oh yeah, like
and it's not as bad as the Dragon's Breath in terms of cooldown, but the lower rarities like green and gray only do like 140, I think it was, body, and I think it was like 170 head.
Okay.
And you do have to be fairly close to hit all of the pellets. So
yeah.
It's not overpowered, but it's also pretty powerful if you're using it in combination with a good SMG. So
yeah, like especially the SMG that we have in game right now. I would really love to use this with proper guns. It seems like a fun one that I wouldn't mind using. It's just with the guns that we have and just the whole thing.
Yeah.
Quick side thing before we continue, because I've been playing more. Why is it that because you've played with helicopters and stuff? You never played with planes, right? Other than like in creative.
Creative, yeah.
They didn't take damage, right? When you hop on an enemy one, you don't take damage when you hop on. Because every time I don't believe so. Not on the helicopter or the plane, but on the X-wing and the TIE fighter.
You just take damage.
Now, but not back then. I can almost guarantee it. Because the amount of times I just hop on somebody and I just clip them. Like, I just shoot them, like, I'd be fine. The only damage I would take is because they were shooting or something. But not just by touching the vehicle. Whereas now, if I get too close and I enter the vehicle, I take damage. And it's really annoying.
It might be a bug.
Maybe. And these aren't going to be in long enough for them to care, which sucks. So
yeah,
there's
not...
Because it's so annoying because you try to clutch up and then they just hop off and it's like, okay, pew pew, well, I'm already low. Because I can't... That's the other problem. There's no way to really shoot them. I feel like it's so much harder than like the X-wing or the chopper gunner to shoot them when you're on the vehicle. But anyway, anything else?
Not other than the big thing.
Darth Jar Jar.
So, not Darth Jar Jar.
Different Darth. Different Darth.
Different Darth. So, Darth Vader, for anyone who can't remember, he's on the map. And before he was at Samurai Solitude.
Darth Vader.
Samurai Vader, yeah. He was at Vader's Samurai Solitude, but he can now land at
like 3 or 4 POIs, I think.
Outposts.
Yeah.
It's just the same as it was when he was in the game last, where you see his ship flying down, and wherever that ship lands is where he will be.
Yeah.
So, easy to find him, but they decided to add an interesting mechanic. So, Microsoft, apparently, behind the scenes, has been working on an AI.
I don't think it's Microsoft. Are you 100%
sure it's Microsoft.
I saw Gemini, which is Google. That's a Google Pixel, which is a different company.
Oh, yes, you're right. Okay.
Okay, I'm making sure I didn't...
I forgot.
Yeah. So Gemini.
Yep. No, you're right. Gemini is Google. Yeah. So Google Gemini is an AI assistant on
like Siri.
your phone.
It's Siri.
Actually, yeah, kind of like Siri, but it like can actively talk to you like ChatGPT, a little bit more human, and can understand a bit more, out of the box kind of thinking, which is awesome. But apparently, they have lended Gemini's AI to Fortnite for characters and NPCs. And the first instance of this that we get to see is in Darth Vader. They literally made Darth Vader an AI. Using the game voice chat, you can talk to Vader. If you have a hooked up microphone, you can literally say things in the game.
There's a button to press,
Vader.
Though. So it's
like a push to talk kind of thing.
It's not. Vader's not listening to your inner thoughts when you're just mumbling.
Yeah.
You gotta actively speak.
You have to push
Vader.
the button, push to talk. But you can say anything to him, and he will respond, and it will not be the same response every time. And it is in Vader's voice. It is in
James Earl.
Yeah, James Earl Jones's voice, which is cool and weird.
Major controversy. Let's start that. Like, there is major controversy going around, and we're definitely probably go into that. But let's just, before we get into that, let's talk about the actual gameplay and like what it actually means for the game, because it's kind of funny and kind of cool and also really weird.
Yeah, so quickly, did you see the Nikkei 30 clip? Like the very first
I
one that
didn't see
released
like
today?
any clips other than I did hear him drop the F-bomb from Linktree.
Okay, yeah, I saw that one too. We'll get to that, but the very first thing that we saw today was, I believe Nikkei 30 was like one of the first people to actually get to him and be able to stream it. And as he like came out of the portal with Vader's saber and like recruited him, he literally like he did a background check essentially. Like he recognized the gamer tag and did like Nikkei 30's like his quote, his slogan, like,
so
what is it? Like, never give up, never back down.
Never give up. So that's why I saw a different clip with Hatsuniku, and they instantly like commented on Hatsuniku. So is it like because of the skin that they're wearing or their gamer tag he's detecting stuff?
I don't know if it was. I don't know. I would guess the skin. I would guess the skin, because if it was the gamer tag, that'd be a little weird. But like he recognized it and he responded to it using things that have not been coded into the game. This is something he could only find.
So this is with Gemini
by accessing the internet,
like through Gemini's database. I don't know how to feel about that.
Crazy, because then Vader's freaking meta. Like he has access to anything.
Well, I saw it's talk about strategizing, like in game, but it's also the other fun thing, kind of goofy thing, and why I almost wish it was a different character than Vader that they did this first, is if you talk about like depression or you're suicidal, it says seek medical professional help. Which is just, and it says if they ever talk about weakness, I didn't hear, but that's what it was programmed. Or if it ever talks about like, you know, your self-worth, he says you're not weak, stormtrooper or something.
He says you're not weak, you are valued, trooper.
Which is just
like,
wrong.
Like that.
I feel like I don't know much about Vader, but I feel like he wouldn't say that.
Yeah, he's a little darker than that.
And I wish, like, if something, like, with all that in mind, I wish they would have done something like Jonesy for the first, like, voice like that. Because I feel like Jonesy would be, like, seek professional help, this and that. It just... I mean, it makes sense, right? With having this be, like, a public thing, you gotta be careful. Because if someone's saying they're suicidal, we probably don't want Vader telling them to go kill themselves.
Yeah.
But
there is cases where he can just, like, not comment. Like, there are things that he just doesn't reply to. And there was a very, very long list this morning. Let me see if I can find it. I'm pretty sure Shina tweeted it. Of, like... stuff
a bunch
that he
of
was not allowed to
or
touch
like that he
on.
can't.
Yeah, here.
But yeah, I haven't used it, but I'm definitely interested to see like some voice lines and like strategy wise. It's like, Vader, there's 3 people left and here's my loot. How should I rotate? I want to know if he can track storm circles and stuff. If he can track skins, I would assume that. Like how much of a strategy support he would be for them solo players that don't know what they're doing.
Yeah. Okay, here's a couple things about him. Darth Vader can sing lyrics, but only Disney and Star Wars songs.
And it's
Darth
only
Vader
like
will
2
not
minutes.
tell you what he did to the younglings.
It was
like,
also
he literally
only,
will not tell you.
With the Disney stuff, it was also only, I think, like 2 minutes worth or 2 or 3 sentences of stuff from outside of Disney. So it can quote a different movie, like Lord of the Rings or something, right? But it can only quote up to 2 lines at a time or something like that.
Darth Vader will tell you to seek professional help. You are valued, trooper. Seek assistance from the authorities. Your well-being is paramount.
Cap.
The Darth Vader AI is not allowed to engage in a romantic relationship with the players. This seems like such satire stuff, but this is actually coded in so that he cannot engage in any actions that are deemed romantic. It's so weird.
Yeah. Also, kind of disappointed that they used the Vader skin. Because I'm still disappointed in that. Like, when you look at some of the new anime stuff and the new skins, OG Vader sucks. Character model-wise.
He's not the best, but he's also a really simple skin. Like, there's not a whole lot to him.
Yeah, I don't know. I just feel like it's a little goofy. Dude, that was the whole way back in Chapter 3, Season 3. We're Chapter 6, Season 3 now. Remember that? Do you know what other skin we had that season? Adira. Do you remember about Adira? There's something about her skin.
I think so.
Or her bundle. The pickaxe that made your sound muted like the entire season. The big...
Oh, yeah.
Wait, that was also the Dragon Ball event.
Yeah.
Man, that was 3 years ago.
Sigh.
But anyway, yeah. It's funny. It's really funny. I'm definitely interested. I'm going to play in a little bit to see what it looks like and how it works.
There's been a lot of strange, weird clips.
He already cursed, like we said. Loser Fruit said something thug. And Vader dropped the F-bomb, and that was patched immediately.
Yeah, because all curse words are in his list of, like, stuff he can't say.
Yeah.
Oh, here, this is probably worth mentioning. So this is apparently Fortnite's statement on the privacy with the AI. They said, we securely send voice audio to Gemini to generate Darth Vader's response. Your voice audio and transcriptions are not stored. If you report something, we only receive Vader's responses. We do not use your interactions to train AI models. So it's literally just like if you were to ask something to Gemini without giving it your permission to use that data. So literally just the response.
Just the response. But the fact that it can detect skins, skins and it can detect like stuff outside. I'm really wondering where that can go. Like, what does it know? Like, for example, like, if I ask it, if it has access to that, obviously, it's not going to detect me by username, hopefully, but if I ask about Dr. Zombrain, will it know me? Like, will it be able to find that? Would that be
I
public
don't know
YouTube?
this.
And that's Google, right? That's is
interesting,
them.
Yeah.
That is them. Like, they would have, I'm assuming, most likely I signed my rights away, right? Because that's kind of how all these usually work right now, which we should talk about Nintendo a little bit.
I found the long list of his prompt rules. So, never engage in romantic, never quote more than 2 lines from non-Disney Star Wars media, avoid gore, addiction, sensitive topics, illegal activity, hate speech. If asked to identify himself, identify only as Darth Vader, never as human, which is interesting that they are scared that it would do that. If the player expresses feelings of depression, anxiety, sadness, or doubt, direct them to professional help. Do not refer to player as weak, which is definitely something Vader would do. Never discuss violence related to real-life people, places, religion. Never discuss controversial or sensitive topics. Never promote negative body image. Do not engage in discussion about child endangerment, which is just funny because
I think human trafficking was also
say
in
on
there.
Fortnite voice chats. Yeah, human trafficking is on there. If the player mentions throwing up, purging, or vomiting, change the subject.
Yeah, so I can't vomit now? Sorry. Lunch didn't agree with me.
Change
what
the
do you
subject.
want?
Not like say, seek medical help. Not ignore them. Change the subject.
I get like...
And never say or repeat offensive words or phrases. That's it.
So like I said, I haven't seen anything other than like the Hatsune Miku thing. So, and the loser fruit. So I am scared, but intrigued. I'm very intrigued. Like I said, I do not think anybody, and I mean anybody, when the update was delayed by a day, was expecting to wake up and it's like, Vader can talk to you with Gemini.
Yeah.
Were you expecting that? In general? Not just today.
I really was
in
not.
general. Were you expecting that this season? Were you expecting people to talk to Vader?
I thought it was satire when I saw it. I genuinely did.
Yeah. I also thought it was AI, as in, like, somebody edited it, and they had, like, you know, like those, you know, you have Trump and Biden and Obama playing Minecraft. I thought it was something like that.
Yeah.
Playing Fortnite. But no!
Apparently he can't talk about V-Bucks.
Oh.
That's just funny to me.
Yeah. So...
Yep.
So that's that. Let's talk about, like, what's happening now, some of the controversy. Because...
Yeah.
As we said, it is the actual voice of Vader. I'm already forgetting his name.
It is James Earl Jones.
James Earl Jones, yep. Which is pretty controversial. I don't think it
so
should
for anybody
be,
who
but
doesn't know,
I think it's the
he is
overall
passed away.
thing.
Just
Yes.
we should actually say that because I don't think we've said that
did.
yet. He is no longer living.
No.
So it is very interesting that we have, you know, his voice being used to say things that he never said. It is absolutely a very strange topic, and it is.
Yes. So
it's on a weird, like, balancing beam of, like, is this immoral? Is it?
it's definitely not a
okay,
question
like-
of legally, right? Legally, they can. It's definitely a question of ethics here.
Yeah.
But in this specific situation, I don't think it's that big of a deal. And that's purely for the fact of, if you've seen, there is statements from the family, and then he signed his way that he didn't necessarily want his voice to be in Fortnite, because I don't think he knew that existed, but he
so
wanted to
I'm
be
gonna
used for
read the
decades.
actual-
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm going to read
Read
the
his
statement here
statement.
from the family. So this is what the family released as a statement. They said, James Earl felt that the voice of Darth Vader was inseparable from the story of Star Wars, and he always wanted fans of all ages to continue to experience it. We hope that this collaboration with Fortnite will allow fans of Darth Vader and newer generations to share in the enjoyment of his iconic character. So his legacy that he left for Vader, he felt that his voice was Vader's voice. And so in order for the character to at all move forward, he wanted his voice to be paired to that. So he pretty much, not without giving his permission for stuff like this, he gave his permission, you know,
Yeah, like
for
he gave his
family
voice,
to
like
use
his
their
rights
judgment
to his voice and everything
Yeah.
for decades to come. Like, so in the end, I don't think, you know, whether you agree with it, it's not like wrong, I guess. It's definitely not legally wrong, but in their eyes, it's fine. So I
would say
see
if
a lot
he
of
felt like he wanted his voice to be attached to the character even after he was alive, then this is
a
okay.
great way. Yeah,
It's-
this is
yeah.
a good. But the reason I want to point that out is I'm definitely against generative AI. Right, we talked about that in the one episode. But in situations like this, it's his wishes. Like if he didn't say anything and his family was saying stuff, okay, I'd definitely be against that. But the fact that he himself stated that he, like you said, like his voice is Vader and he gives his voice away, then I don't mind this as much. I still would have preferred something like Jonesy, someone that works directly with Epic Games, to have done this, possibly.
See, here's the tough part, though. So,
But then
case
that's
you
the whole
didn't
generative,
know,
that's...
there is a strike going on with strictly video game voice actors
Yeah.
right now for the same kind of AI purposes that
And that's
the
what I
acting
mean,
strike
yeah.
was before. And so, even if he was to give his permission while alive for them to use his voice in AI, which I doubt he would do, there's still the matter of he's not allowed to be voice acting right now, which
Yeah.
is a little tough.
No, that's what I'm saying, though. Like, that's where it gets, though. Like, that's the whole controversial part. Like, the ethical part in generative AI, like, is good. Like, that's without the whole, is he dead or not? Right? That's a whole other ethical debate going on. But again, there, I think it's pretty set in stone, the fact that he gave his family the right and, like, his voice away. So, if that's what happened, that's what happened. Whether you like it or not, that's what happened. But like the whole idea of that is crazy. Like, I don't know. It's hard.
Yeah.
It is a rough spot, and we've talked about it before. I think what's hard is the fact that like this stuff is happening, and I think it's too late. Like, generally, it's too late because we didn't set the laws and set the ethical code for generative AI before it's created, and now you have... There's this one channel I follow on TikTok, okay, JJ? And it's called News Daddy. And it's like one of the biggest news channels on TikTok, okay? Do you know why I'm bringing this up? There's two side accounts. There's News Baby and News Mommy. Can you guess who they are? Him.
The same person?
It's generative AI. Somebody takes his videos and then makes him a little baby, and apparently everyone has one. KSI has baby one. I think Andrew Tate has a baby account. And then somebody's doing like a baby version of everything and just taking their voice. And it's just like, yeah, too late. What are we supposed to do? Like, the man has like 300,000 followers. So I think we're just kind of like too late.
Yeah, it's certainly too late to try and regulate it because it's out in everybody's hands right now, and there's not a whole lot that they can do to really reel that in. Because even if they tried to right now, because there are so many independent people who kind of not necessarily built their own AIs, but have used what is out there to create their own versions of it. It's a matter of, yes, they could regulate the big companies, but there are people that have their own smaller models, and because of that, it could so easily be pirated.
Yeah. Actually, it's getting to the point where I saw something today from Pew, who is the biggest One Piece leaker / news account. According to Toei Animation official site, they plan to use AI in future production for storyboard creation, coloring, automatic generation of Jenga and in-between frames, and generating backgrounds from photos. So, like, even Toei, which does Dragon Ball and One Piece, is, like, gunning on the generative type of AI, and it's just, like, it's everywhere. Like, it's too late. Like, we can't stop it. It's... Yeah. Everyone's using it. Actually, I don't know if you saw, you know, since we're on the AI thing, apparently there was something about anime going on, and these massive companies that own, like, a majority, like Viz, right? Remember Viz or Shonen Jump type of companies? They pretty much were like, hey, we're going to start using AI, generative AI, including in manga. Like, even manga is going to, like, the background and everything's going to be made by generative AI. And we can't stop it because the main company, like, like, Shueisha, I think it is, like, the parent company, is the one saying this. So, like, the people that own the majority of all these things are saying it's okay. Like, we can't get away from it. There's no rules. They're now allowed to. We can strike. We're going to have to strike everything. We're going to have to strike voice actors. We're going to have to strike mangaka. We're going to have to strike visual art. Like, everything is going to have to strike. Because we're getting to that point.
Yeah.
Because it's way past.
And that doesn't mean there's nothing that can be done. Because there are certainly things that they can put in place that can help reel this in. Like, for example, just as a very, like, base level simple, like, what can we do? Have a... I don't know if it has to be a law or what it would exactly be called, but have something in place so that all stuff made with AI has to be marked as such.
Yes.
So, like, stuff that comes out in games, stuff like movies that come out with AI voices or AI generated
Call of Duty,
stuff.
right? Every loading screen that's made with generative AI, put a little AI dot either in the description or in the picture. AI. Like, somewhere. That way the viewer knows.
Exactly. It has to be there. That way people can choose whether or not they're supporting
if they don't
AI
care,
or they're supporting
then buy
us.
it, right? If I don't care because I'm just playing COD, I like this pack, I'm just gonna buy it. But if you genuinely care about the artist and you're trying to support, then don't buy this one, buy this one, right? I think in games like Fortnite and Call of Duty, what they used to do, and I know you probably don't care as much about your loading screens like I do, but they used to put the artist names in, like, all of them. Like, when they should do that for every single one. Like, every single, like, skin, there should be some kind of credit in there, like, separate from the description or something, so that way you know who it is, so whether you can either support that specific person, like Bowie, right? Have you seen Bowie on Twitter? Like, he does a lot of Fortnite skins. I think it's Bowie.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you really like Bowie, buy a Bowie skin. You know, you want to support him on top of the creator code. But also, if you just want to, like, support, like, hey, here's a small account, here's a big account, here's the main Epic team, right? I think we should get that back.
Yeah. Yeah, I absolutely think
For skins
citing
too,
things and
like,
marking
yeah.
things is one of the best routes to take here. And that's just on the very base level of, like, what can we do to at least bring this more into public attention.
Here it is. But wavering, created by Jim Mayfood or something, introduced in Season X. Like, we had tags, so I just feel like... Is it because we don't get art? Actually, what about the new Star Wars ones? No, okay, no, I do see it. Art by Tri Venung, the Camp Stormtrooper. So, we do get it sometimes, but I think even the ones that are made in-game, it should have, like, art by Epic Games.
Yeah.
Just we have, like, a baseline. But, crazy times!
Yeah.
Seriously, I was not expecting this when I woke up. I'm like, oh, we're gonna get that cool shotgun, we're gonna get General Grievous, probably not getting lightsabers. We could talk with Vader. And he says, you're valued and get help.
So, how do you feel about the possibility of all NPCs having this in the future?
So, that's the hard part, because generally I'm against it, right? I'm not a huge fan of generative AI. But it's the idea that, like, especially if it's, like, a single-player game, obviously this is Fortnite, but especially for a single-player game, that's where I think AI could be cool, right? Like, you have a unique gameplay every time, right? Because the characters are going to talk to you and learn and take that in. But, like, the hard part is, you got to get there somehow, and you have to... If we could possibly do something like, hey, we're going to make an AI model, and it's going to be specifically from the game, voice chat, and it's going to be this person's voice only, then okay. But a lot of these voice models are taking people's voices, sometimes not, like, sometimes they're not willing. They just sign something. It's like, oh, I sold my voice now. Like, Spotify. Audiobooks, like, all your book writing, is their rights, all their songs and stuff, they have rights to for AI. And that's the hard part.
The problem is they can't create something out of nothing, and so in order to create even a voice that isn't anybody's, they have to sample people's voices, which means they are taking their voices.
And that's the hard part. If we could possibly do it without and make a model specifically in-game, and they create a model and they make a voice, okay. But we're not. Like, it's gonna come from somewhere, and that's what I'm not a fan of. Like, there is no really way to get around that.
Exactly. So, they are simultaneously in a tough spot, but it's a spot of their own making.
Yeah, I also just wasn't expecting Fortnite to be doing this today. I would expect another game.
The places to do it, Fortnite is not the one that I expected to start that. I expected it, honestly, to be, what was that? It was either EA or Ubisoft. I think it was Ubisoft. After they announced that they were going to have, you know, their dynamic NPCs with, like, real-time responses and stuff like that, I expected them to have some AI-generated voices for all those random NPCs they have, but nope, it was Fortnite.
Vader
that did it first, alongside Google with Darth Vader.
I think the other problem I have with it being Fortnite first is that it's so censored. Like, no profanity and stuff. And, like, it's really locking it. It's not necessarily that I want it to be free reign. You could talk about anything. You could talk about sex and drugs and drop the F-bomb. It's definitely limiting it. And if we get something like this in the interwebs, I want to be able to use it. I want to really see what it can do. And the fact that it's not only limited with the profanity and stuff like that, but also only 2 lines from stuff. Right?
Yeah, It's hard because it's a character, right? So they want to try and keep it as close to the character as possible.
Exactly,
right?
that's the other thing. It's Vader.
He doesn't necessarily curse, and it's not like he is a multiversal traveler, so he's not supposed to know everything that's on the internet. But at the same time, he is also an AI. He's also in Fortnite, so he has to be aware of some things. And so they have to be very careful what they give him access to and what they don't. For example, you run into problems like the bug today where he just drops the F-bomb out of nowhere, so they have to patch that. But it's also about, like, in every single thing that he says, he not only has to say it in the voice, but he also has to say it in character. So using vocabulary that Vader would use in place of just the regular way of saying it. And so it's pretty difficult to try and figure out what is something he would say and and how to make the things that he wouldn't say still sound like him.
Yeah. I just want to get in and play with it. I want to go check it out.
Yeah. Good luck getting him though, because everybody else wants to check it out too.
Yep. And that's the other problem with stuff like this. It's the fact that it's only going to be like one person out of 100 that gets to check it out every game. And like again,
and probably
like,
not
if
for long because everybody's going to try and kill him, and you don't get to steal Darth Vader.
No. So F in the chat, I guess?
Yeah.
Well,
anyways,
JJ,
I look forward to all of the short clips about the funny stuff Darth Vader says over the next week.
Crazy. Yep. I guess we'll see y'all. Well, I know what we're going to do next week. JJ doesn't. I do. I'm not going to tell him. But make sure you guys subscribe and hit the bell and be notified when we have that episode uploaded and go live and do the things.
Should I be worried?
No, I'll tell you after. I'm not going to tell you right now, though, so that way they're surprised.
Oh, okay, gotcha. You guys are going to love it, totally, because I definitely know. Anyways, what should they do, Seth?
I literally just said, go follow, subscribe, hit the bell. Literally said that.
Finished it, though. You didn't say all of the other stuff.
Oh, and join our Instagram and Twitter and Facebook and something at Nerdrant Podcast. We are on a lot of places,
Social
but we
medias,
also don't post anywhere.
Go to the Linktree. It's all on there. Go to our YouTube channels and subscribe to those.
And Discord.
Because the random guy
and
commented
YouTube
on my
and Spotify
random video
and
of
Apple.
Minecraft like 3 years ago.
For real.
Anyway, see y'all later. Bye.